Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to Sunless Skies. In the last episode we got ourselves a clockwork bomb for the toy maker here in Wobbly Just a Mare, which means we're going back in again. We're going back into Wobbly Just a Mare. I swear the last 3 episodes have been about Wobbly. It's not my fault. Should we take the lottery again? Wait, how much does it cost if we bribe our way through the door to the off-season? The work at keeping tourists away from the door makes one thing clear. You're going to have to compensate him if you're going to enter. You might go in and work, taking income from others. But then I'd have to pay to go from the off-season to the main place. That doesn't really help me that much, does it at all? So let's just trade some of our uncanny specimens. Someone unglued the ducks in one of the entertainments in the lanes. Many people won before anyone recognized the problem. The fair needs to replenish its stash of prizes. As soon as you've handed over your goods, the official clicks his fingers. Workers from the Bureau of Entertainments quickly commandeer your attention. A man and a woman appearing on each side, both exquisitely dressed. Their smiles, well-whetted knives. Yes, let's get our outfit. What do we go last with? A coat? I guess we could go with a skirt, or a kilt, or bustle, or breeches. A glimmering sea of fabrics, cool to fit any waistline or hips, line an enormous walk-in closet. Through the frills you see undergarments. Oh my. The courtier calls 2 old women from a door, their stained glass eyes nearly as pale as the nacreous filaments of their long, white hair. The latter suspended in complicated spirals. They ease you into your selections without fanfare. There's even a martial contempt, as though you're not moving halfway fast enough, gracefully enough. Despite their disdain, they are competent and civil assistants, wholly disinterested in everything from your choice in lace-up trousers to erotic underwear. When you finally dismiss the women, the courtier considers you for a long moment. He turns to a wardrobe and hands you several garments of your size. Once you are dressed, he dismisses you, shooing you into Wobbly Just a Mare. Lovely. Let's head off to the Bureau of Entertainments. It is perched on the lip of the boardwalk. Yes, it is indeed. We can tell the toy maker what the sequencer said. Quickly, tell me now. If you take this choice, you'll no longer be able to work with the cult. I think that's fine. Here, take this bomb. The toy maker is visibly disappointed, his porcelain veneer splitting. Enough to reveal the savagery of rage you would expect from the affluent, but not enough for it to be a disgrace. I'd expected more, but paupers cannot be picky. Then, in a moment of inspiration so utterly vivid that it congeals in your pocket, the toy maker straightens, expression irradiated by glee. You're expendable. Take the bomb down into the depths of the mists. That's where the Fluke the cult worships resides. Destroy it. If you survive, you can talk about your edification. Won't that be lovely? Yeah, I gained a moment of inspiration. I feel like I needed that for something. Is it the cult man with the avid horizon? It may very well be. And we gained 100 sovereigns and 500 experience. So, yeah, descend into the mists. Bomb the cult's god. Well, you've come this far. Might as well follow this story to its grave. Sure, why not? What could possibly go wrong? Maybe I should have lowered my terror first. I'm afraid we won't be able to offer company. Toymaker leans back, fingers laced above the base of his breastbone. He is in a brocade of raw velvet, the lining of his coat suitably nacreous. But it is nothing personal. Someone needs to operate the diving dip. And I must send people to check in on the health of the cult. This taste rots his expression. Sadly, I doubt the bomb will be sufficient to kill the Fluke. It is, by all accounts, rather large, but that isn't necessarily a terrible thing. Sepsis has a habit of keeping one busy. Make sure you place the explosive somewhere. It will hurt. A pack of officials herd you away from the headquarters and towards a rickety diving bell, attached to a thick, long chain. Your transport. Oh no, not another diving bell. We have really bad history with diving bells on this channel. Nothing about this is terrifying. Not the rickety fishbowl you've been installed inside. Not the jerky descent into the fog. The cottony silence. Not even the way no one in the Bureau of Entertainment's promised you'll be fine at the end of your sojourn. Shall we... Oh well, what could possibly go wrong? Let's just signal to go lower. 2 tugs of the tasseled red rope, and you begin to descend. Really should have got rid of my terror, shouldn't I? The mists seem almost bilious the further you go. Enraged by your encroachment, it churns and swirls, making faces or what something that has never had a body might believe to be faces. Eyes bloom like so many flowers, accompanied by swirls of teeth and tongue. It's all illusion, of course, a trick of the cognition. You know what? I'm going to abandon the descent. Cowardly, I know. But you crawl out of the vehicle, desperate for a grasp of that foul, warbly, just-a-mere air. These representatives from the Bureau of Entertainment, shabbier than so many of their colleagues, shake their head in clear disapproval. Toymaker won't be happy, confides a woman with slick black hair and a slick white smile. Okay, well, my terror fell. You know, good, I suppose. Bear with me. I'm going to go take a trip to the, yes. Some lovely little tea rooms and things. Let's get my terror down just a little bit. It's quite high. It's distressingly high. I feel like if I push my luck here, it's going to go terribly wrong. So let's stop off at the charming tea room. Keep an eye on my clothes here. I don't want to accidentally overdo it. Let's take a donkey ride. Sure. Yep. Donkeys are good. Terror's fallen again. We're at 54%. Lovely. I've really got to just not click any of these. Ponder. Ah, rubbery lumps. Lovely. That's just what we need. 49%. Your clothes are thinning and tattered. They will not remain a suitable attire for much longer. Is that as far as we can go? I don't actually know if we might be able to sneak one more. Oh no, we have 2 in all. Maybe I can try one more. Worst case scenario, I'll have to pay to get in again. Let's get some more rubbery lumps. Your clothes are threadbare. You are scruffy. Uh-oh. Quick, go to the Bureau of Entertainment. Our terror is now down to 44%. That's much more sustainable, I feel. And let's descend into the mists. I've accidentally discovered something. I had pop-ups keep coming up. I had the wrong capture because I'm just an unprofessional YouTuber at this point. So, but I accidentally clicked abandon the descent again when I came back, and it just lowered my terror. At 38%, and then I can descend again. And then I can abandon again. And then I can descend again. Then I can abandon again. I mean, it's not very efficient, you know. It's not efficient. I gotta be honest. This is probably gamey and cheesy as hell, but like, it's working. It's definitely working. Should we just pretend I didn't figure this out? Like, yeah, we're at 30%. Alright, okay, it's fine. We'll go down. Descend! Now is the time. Good lord. Signal to go lower. Mists seem bilious. We gain more terror. Let's signal to go deeper. As you plunge further into the mists, the phantasms acquire more solidity. Serpentine bodies, Piscine forms. Now it is an entire ecosystem of them. Ouroborosian and hungry and indifferent. Now they are the faces of those who'd forgotten. Now their bodies teeming with coral and glittering beetles. Now they're watching you, and they are smiling. Baby teeth bared between feathered antennae. Let's be lowered into the very depths. One more tug. You're almost there. The mists become a chiaroscuro of hard shadows, halogen and ink. The writhing haunts. Almost it feels as though the mists might be holding its breath, might be waiting, might be watching you. Or perhaps they're watching something else. Something taps on the fishbowl of the vehicle, a barbed tendril, wider than a grown man is tall. It explores the seams of your transportation, even as an eye, swollen and crimson and colossal, flashes briefly into view. Uh-oh. Piscine bodies ribboned with nearly human eyes, starfish-like human lips, razored and rinded with blue coral. Creatures even more peculiar still, more illusion than flesh, whirling through the mists. So we can either behold the Fluke through the tendriling mists. A scorn Fluke regards your arrival, a cyclopean presence, over-encumbered with spare corneas. The ministry would not despise this creature were it not. Or we can prepare the explosive. You retreat to prepare the bomb. A harm-free process, they'd murmured, optimistically. Let's behold the Fluke. I'd rather not bomb it if I don't have to. We can soothe the scorn Fluke. Nothing in the high wilderness could ever be lonelier than the scorn Fluke. Its suffering is contagious. Perhaps applying a modicum of sympathy will reduce the pain it shares with you. Can't do that. Just behold it. Something is very wrong with the scorn Fluke. For one, it possesses an eye, red-veined as though it had spent eons in ceaseless lamentation. Scorn Fluke, its species, usually possessed by a jagged geometry, looks diseased, its body warped and weeping with cancers, cysts of unnatural dimension. Aberration that it might be, the Scorn Fluke remains a primordial revelation, ancient and so steeped in anguish that the air itself twists to misery. This isn't pain, as mortals might know it, but something almost holy in its vastness. An entire cosmology of suffering contorted to a being. Well, time to bomb it, I guess. You retreat to prepare the bomb. It is difficult to say precisely what the bomb is, let alone how it functions. The charge is a dull copper sphere, haloed by stylized flames. A representation of the clockwork sun, perhaps. Due to rings, their insides teethed, circle the sphere, and no matter how hard you try, you cannot identify their precise number. You repeat the ritual as you have been instructed. You turn 3 rings clockwise, 2 rings the other way, upturn the globe, and glaze it with a thimbleful of your blood. Something clicks deep in the orb. It's ready. A thimble of my blood? What kind of bomb is this? This seems like a terrible idea. Bomb's away. You lob the bomb out of the hatch and tug 3 times on the tasseled red rope. The sole communication between your vehicle and the world without. I feel like we should have checked that they could still receive our tugs before we did this, but okay, let's see. Afterwards, all you will remember is the glare. The bomb goes off. The world flattens to ultraviolet. No dimensionality at all. Nothing but a silence, as if the universe decided to elide the very concept of sound. The explosion pairs the language from your lungs, empties you, fills you instead with memories of first times. First loves, first kisses, the first taste of roast beef, the first time someone stood in the rain on the edge of an ocean so blue that it is impossible to separate it from the sky. And threaded through that all, a peculiar, pained indignity. The Fluke proceeds even further into the depths, retreating till its vast shadow is a mere hint in the constantly swirling mists. It has been wounded. It has been wounded by one of the port. It will be ceasing communication with the cult. You injured the Scorn Fluke, helping the Bureau of Entertainments devastate the off-seasons. The bomb exploded. Scorn Fluke is not dead. Of course it isn't. But the monstrosity has been diminished. Its pustulant form, weeping ichor and distrust. It'll be years at least before it invites company. It will reject the overtures of the... As for the cult, between the desecration of its god and the ministrations of the Toymaker, it is barely more than the corpse that is its chapel. It is not gone. It is worse. It is pathetic. Well, let's return to the Bureau of Entertainments. You've disemboweled the cult. Time to gorge yourself on the reward. That made me jump. Good lord. I was not anticipating leveling up right then. Like, what could have possibly happened? The Bureau is ecstatic. You arrive in the Bureau of Entertainment's offices to find guilt and the glamour of Britain at its height. Baroque excess rendered in rich meats and too much wine. The officials cheer at your arrival. If it all sounds a little bit synchronized, no one acknowledges it. Good work, the Toymaker purrs. There will need to be a recruitment drive to repopulate the off-season, but you don't have to worry about that, no. Another round of cheers, another round of red wine. Exquisite, save for the aftertaste of gin. Later, wine-tired, Toymaker beckons you close. It's only a start. We must labour ceaselessly to resist poor thinking and indolence. You will be welcome to assist. Oh my god, I got 1 royal dispensation. That's actually really good. And 300 sovereigns and 2,000 experience. So, if I go back to the Bureau of Entertainment, anything here we can do here? Assist Toymaker with an extermination. The Toymaker clucks. Those cults don't know how to stay dead. You need to do something. This will eventually get you a ministry stamped permit. But it has to be every fortnight. The fortnightly cult crushing, goddamn. Okay, well, looks like we've managed to do the Toymaker's quest here. That's really good. Let's take advantage of this final attire we have and let's get ourselves some rubbery lumps. Feather has fallen, and let's leave swiftly. Your beautiful garments are nothing but rags now. I've finished here. Let's take this moment to level up. Yeah, what do we want to do here? What do we want to do? Love? Love, the gradual erosion of that which separates you from someone else. The fitting together of 2 lives, as intricately and intimately as the threads in a tapestry or the cells in your skin. When one of those lives ends, what remains of the other? Nothing good, I'm sure. The bell tolls. You have foreseen your own death, it did not please you. Family footsteps, the apple did not fall far from the tree. Spiritford, once upon a time someone took your soul, threw it out of your mouth with a delicate silver. Or a narrow escape. Engine was nearly destroyed, but you lived to fight another day. I am kind of tempted to take this moment of inspiration just because of how rare they are, but hearts and mirrors? I mean, I guess more mirrors never hurts, right? Got quite high mirrors. I feel like hearts is a check that we're kind of weak on, so maybe we will. We'll take a lost love. And how badly does it hurt now? Like a gnawing ache, a hole in the heart. You feel always that something is missing. In the middle of other things, you will look up and around and then remember that they will never be there. Like a fresh wound, red now as it was then. Sometimes the grief is raw, ravaging, a wolf howl mid-winter's night. Other times it suddenly slinks, waiting for a reason, any reason, to lift its head and howl again. I could do with buffing my irons a little bit. We are kind of weak irons, but mirrors never hurts. Go with this, a gnawing ache. Okay, and do you know what I'm going to do here? Normally I'd end the episode right about now, but you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to talk to an officer, because I keep forgetting to talk to the blooming officers. Who should we talk to? Who do we need to talk to? Actually, it's probably a more important question. Do I need to talk to the Chiropterus Hoarder? Swaddled in vermilion, its lean and spindly horror with the most velvety of ears. The Chiropterus Hoarder colonizes your pantry, half the cargo bay and one of the cupboards in the gallery. It fills these spaces with velvet-wrapped boxes of varying sizes, opaque mason jars which sometimes ring with tapping from within, glass displays half populated by half-dead and unblinking things. Periodically, the Chiropterus Hoarder can be found in the cabin it has been assigned, hunched over a new item, a new acquisition. Ask about his luggage. Is it your right as captain to at least have some knowledge of what you're transporting? The Chiropterus Hoarder glowers, its expression glacial. When it becomes clear that it cannot intimidate you into leaving, your quartermaster sighs and relents. "A jellyfish, still alive," whispers, voice soared down to a growl. As it speaks, the Hoarder trails a claw along each item. "Dream of freedom, piped into a glass. Verdant spores that will never die. Everything immortal or that aspires to be immortal. I am making an inventory of them." Okay. I guess I shall compliment you on your collection. This is going to use one of my savage secrets. It's best to have the quartermaster on your side. It is indeed. 81% chance of success. Cross your fingers. Wonderful. Flattery gets you somewhere. "You can't have it," it hisses at you from under its oversized cowl. You explain that compliments are not meant to be transactions. The Chiropterus Hoarder is initially distrustful of your exposition, and when transported at this epiphany, appreciation without condition. What a winsome novelty. "It's not like that where I come from. Before London, long before. They just take and take." Teeth slant into view. "But that's acceptable. I take their things too." Whose things? Where did it come from? "Here, the wilderness, lush and velveted with so many treasures, so many hungry tastes. There were others with me, yes, but none of them were as clever as me. I know how to make immortality. I know how to make collections that last." Its ears flatten.
And this is why I must be careful, be small now.
Would you like to talk about your interests? What does it care about? Perhaps you will find common ground.
I have a dream.
It confides, picking at the hem of its claret cloak. An ear, long and velveteen, droops from its cowl.
An old dream. An excellent dream. I would make my collection perfect. To do this, there is a corpse that I must visit. Your kind named it Faith's Fall. Appropriate, I think. If I could travel there, if I had help and bronzewood, I could build the thing that I need.
For a moment, its eyes are the universe, garbed and glorious with stars.
But you couldn't spare the crew, or the timber, or the time. Not for me. No, not for me.
It ducks its head. Now, Faith's Fall is in the Reach, yes. It's the, it is by Hybris, I believe. So that is one that's going in the notes. Oh, does it know Mr. Menagerie? Perhaps the curators are acquainted with each other. Silence. A kind not unlike a man trying to recall a favourite meal. Overtakes the Chiropterous hoarder for an interval. At last, it brightens.
It sells delicious things.
You tell me about the other masters? Indeed. What happened to the other masters of Old London?
Her Majesty came to regret her agreement with us. She reneged and fled the Fifth City, Sky. Many of my colleagues remained behind, fat and sleek and content at the heart of the new Sixth City. But a few of us languished long enough in the dark. We saw the chance to return home, to the heavens. So in secret, a few of us followed you to the sky. Most of us did so quietly. One of us made too much noise. Her renewed majesty overheard. It has a job now.
The hoarder sniffs.
Tragic.
Oh dear. Should we check in on him? I don't think there's anything here, but a courtesy call. Certainly not a surreptitious check to see if anything has been stolen for its collection. The Chiropterous hoarder stands in a drift of gleaming curios, brass and glass and bronze polished to incandescence. It is stacking something. Many somethings, in fact. There is no time to accurately identify them. Noticing your appearance, the Chiropterous hoarder launches itself towards you, a waking nightmare of membrane and red cloth.
Out! Out! You cannot look! This is mine! Mine! Out!
Oh, fair enough. And with that, I shall write it in my notes after the episode is finished that we need to go to Faith's Fall for the Chiropterous hoarder. But I shall end this episode here. Very much for watching. We bombed a Fluke and talked to a master. Pretty good episode right there. Either way, like, subscribe, let me know what you think. Your comments are greatly appreciated. Thank you again to the members of the channel. It really does mean the world to me. And as always, I'll see you next time.